Welcome to Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and in this episode of Tools of the Trade, I hope to be finished with Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane number 57. Now, of course, I will introduce a few new tools that you may have seen before, but not actually being used. I think I could be wrong there. And of course, as always, I will have those tools listed as to where you can get them if I know where you can find them. There's a couple of older tools that I use that you might not be able to find. I've had them for like 35, 40 years, so I have no idea where I got them. That being said, let's get started on this video. Well, here I am finally back to work on Lois Lane number 57. And we're going to do something a little different. This isn't cleaning. It's what we're going to do is we're going to seal these tears so that we can put the comic back together. And of course, I had thought about doing a little leaf casting in here, but less is more when you're doing conservation work, and that's what this is. So I'm going to show you my process for mending tears, and probably we're just going to do it on the inside rather than on both sides. Now the first thing I need, or the first thing I use that I will put down, is this. Now this is a Teflon sheet. You can get them in baking supplies. I'll see if I can find a link for it so that you can buy it online. I think Amazon might actually sell them. I don't remember exactly where I got this. I've seen them. I've seen them at the. I've seen on TV advertisements. So you might find it at Walmart. You might find it at Target. You might find them at a dollar store. I don't know. But I'm going to see if I can find a link online for them where you can pick it up. Then we're going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tool. Now this is a sculpting tool for miniatures, and I have no idea where I got it. I don't even know where to start to look for it, but I've had it for about 30 years, so yeah, it's one of those things that I can't tell you where to get one. But anything similar would work. Anything with a flat edge and maybe a spoon, you could do it with. And what I'm going to do is I'll use that to fold these edges over, hold it in place with my finger, and then I'll kind of try to press it down a little bit with the other end. And I'll do that all the way across until I get them all as close to being right as I can get them. Once that's done, I'm going to take and put a little bit of paste on here. Now what I'm going to use today is nori paste. This is a rice paste that you can buy pre-mixed, and I will leave you a link for this on the in the description. And I might, rather than using this part, I might use my bone folding tool, and I'll link this down in the description as well to try to flatten that out. This has been in a press for about 3 weeks, and I should have made sure these were flattened out before I put it in press. This has not been wetted. I did not get it wet. I will not be getting it wet. I'm going to do this dry so you will know that you don't have to get a comic cover wet to do repairs to it. And then once I put a little bit of nori paste down there, I've got a scrap of Tengujo paper, and I'll tear off little bits of it and put it down here. My original thought was just to get a long strip of it and put it all the way down, but I don't think I really need that. I need a little bit here, a little bit here, maybe a small piece here, a little bit longer piece here, little tiny piece there, some here, and then a longer piece here. So I don't need to do the whole cover. Like I said, less is more. I also have this in the event that my bone folder or my sculpting tool won't work. I've got this. Now this came out of a sculpting kit I got for clay, but this is a really handy thing because it's a little ball, and I can use that to really put a little force on there and get it down. You see, that's flattening out nice, just because I'm able to apply a little bit of force to it. And that's maybe that's what I'll use. I'll see if I can find a place where you can buy these, if you just want to buy the single tool, or maybe you'll get the set. I bought a set because it was cheaper than buying 2 or 3 of these individual sizes. So I've got a ton of sculpting tools, and I don't sculpt. So once that's done, and I get the Tengujo paper over the areas I want to press, I want to repair, then I will take a second sheet of Teflon paper, put it down, and the reason I'm using these Teflon sheets is because the paste, it sticks to it, but not very well, and generally I can just gently peel it right off. Silicone release paper works also, provided you use the correct size. I have accidentally used the wrong size before. And then I'll put some weight over this to hold it down and keep it, you know, because you need to weight it to make it stick properly. And also, it also keeps the paper from shrinking. Normally you don't necessarily do that. I don't know, I have this, this is a base that used to hold a Thor model that I'm in the process of reworking, and maybe I'll use that, probably not, because that's dirty. Probably I'll just put a book on it and maybe a weight. So I'm going to get started in just a minute. All right, let's get started. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll fold this over some. I'm going to go ahead and use this on it. And then this piece here, let's bring it down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually going to try to keep this in the screen, so I'm not working off screen. It's difficult to do this type of work while I'm recording it, because I have a tendency to go off screen. I have a piece up here that needs to be folded over. Let's see if we can get that. 2 pieces actually. It will. Now if I got these a little bit damp, they would lay flat, no problem at all, but I really don't want to use any water on it. The paste should be good enough. All right. think that's good enough. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. That way I can bring it down towards me as I'm recording. So we're going to start with this piece right here. Somebody forgot his paintbrush. It's going to be very difficult to spread the paste without a brush. I'll be right back. And I'm back. This is just a cheap 3/4 inch brush I got in a kit that I paid like $2 for at the dollar store. You can buy stuff like that. It works fine. Now we're going to spread a little bit of nori paint. Well, first, before I do anything else, let's close that back up. Let's go ahead and tear off the pieces that we need for this. That'll just make it a little quicker. Now notice I'm going over farther than what I need to. I'll probably bring that up a little bit to cover that piece there. And then I need another one. And this is going to stay in my collection, so I'm not too worried about how it turns out, but I would like it to turn out fairly nicely. I'm not covering the cracks completely, but that's good enough, I think. Tear off another small piece, and what I'm doing is I'm just putting them where I want them to go. This one will go here. Let's get a little bigger piece so I can cover both of those. Yeah, that's better. And I think I'll do the same with this one. That's actually a pretty long creep. Yeah. I'm going to have to do this one a little bit differently. So what we'll do, I have a little tiny one here that I'll put there. And then I'm going to tear a longer piece. Because this is a pretty long tear. Yeah, I think that's good. Get another small piece. Go right there. Trying to keep it on the camera again. And you know what? I'm going to go the rest of this the whole length here. So yeah, I think that's good. Alright, that's how we're going to do it. So start with this piece down here, move it off to the side. A little bit of paste on my brush. Very little. I want to use as little as possible. And all I'm going to do is paint it on there. And as you can see, it right away it closed up that gap. I'll take this and put it on there. And go over it again. And I'm doing it off camera. Sorry about that. You'll see it on the next one. I just barely am putting the brush into the paste. It doesn't take much at all. Now we'll do this one. This one is a pretty big one. Same thing. Just barely putting it on the edge of the brush. You just very on the very tip, and that's it. And then we'll go over it like this. It's really just enough to make the Tengujo stick to it. The actual, I just want to be able to stick it in place. the actual gluing comes the second time once it's on there, and I come across like that. Just like that. You always want to brush away from the center of the piece of Tengujo. Alright, now we're going to do these two. Same technique. Move these off to the side. Put that in place. And paste it down. Get this little tiny piece here. Now the nori paste has a long work time, which is good. It takes a little while to dry, but once it starts to dry, it's quick. Now we'll do this one. Now this is going to be a long piece, because the tear goes from here all the way over to there. So that's why I got this longer piece here, because I wanted to cover the full tear. I have to be careful not to put my finger down on that. And I probably should be wearing gloves, but this stuff is no big deal. All it is rice. It's rice paste. So that's kind of cool. Did I put that piece on there? Where did this little tiny one come from? I don't think I put it on. There it is. I found it. And finally this is going to be a longer one, so I'm going to have to use a little more paste on it. Again, brush it over in the direction you might not be able to see what happened there, but because of the way I brushed it over, it lays that curl down. Now we'll put that on there. We'll stick it together, and I'll start putting the paste on. Now because I have that on there, I can flip it over. And why do I want to flip it over? Well, to get this seam, to get the tear closer together. Flip it back over. And that's all there is to it. That's really, we'll stick this on there. I'll need some weight. I think what I'll do is I'll use this for a weight. This is a comic book conservation book. You can get this on Amazon. I think they still have them. It was made by Dr. Paul Kosnick and Dr. Shelby Thompson. They have a show on Sunday night. Very good. It talks about conservation. And they're proponents for conservation. It's worth watching their show. Pick up the book. It's about $70, but if you're really interested in conservation, it's the way to go. And then I've got a couple of 2-pound weights that I'll set on top of that. There we go. That's it. I'll come back when it's dry and show you the results. Well, it's several hours later, so let's take a look and see what we've got here. We'll take these off first and take off the book. And gently peel this back. A little tiny bit of it stuck to it, but not bad at all. Some of the glue is still damp, so we're going to leave it like it is, just like that. I'll come back to it in a couple more hours and we'll reassemble the comic. Well, it's a couple hours later. And it's time to put this back together, I think. I have the interior of it. I pressed it, made it nice and flat, so that when we put it all together it'll work. And what we're going to do first, I have this piece of foam board, and this is just a scrap piece that I have. I think somebody used it to pad something they were shipping me, and I just decided to use it at this. But of course you can buy this anywhere. You can get foam board anywhere. And a pen. I need a pen. And you might be asking, what do you need a pen for? Well, because there's no hole in the cover. And all I'm going to do is very gently try to put this all the way through. I'm not worried about getting it into the cover yet. Yeah, see, it went right through, no problem. It's in the same hole. Same here. In the same hole. So we're going to try to even this up. And I will be cleaning this again a little bit more. I folded it over so I could make sure that the cover was where it needed to be. Now, get it through the, and then just push down right through the cover. Same thing with this, make sure it's through the paper and then right through the cover, and it goes into the, it goes in there. Oops. Well, that was lucky. This is the bottom staple. And we're going to get our capable, I believe this is the capable staple tool from Immaculate Comics. And we're going to make sure the staple is nice and even before I put it in. Yes, that's good. And what this allows me to do is it actually allows me to straighten up the staple a little bit better. And I'll leave a link to this in the description down below, so that if you want one, you can get it. Put it like that. I'm going to have to turn this over now. A lot of times what I'll do is, wow, I wonder where those, oh, I see the holes. A lot of times what I'll do and I just have to gently try to get it in there the way it's supposed to fit. There, we got it through that end, and now we got to get it through this side. I hope these are the right staples. No, they are. I know they are. I have two sets of staples here. The other set is really a lot thicker and older, and it goes to my Superman 19 that someday I'm going to finish. It's really difficult to get that exactly right. Now that I have one side of the staple down, I will use this slot on the on the capable staple tool, and that'll help me hold the staple so that I can push this other one in. There we go. The first one's in there. Now we get to do the second one. Exactly the same procedure. I want to make sure that it's even. And gently put it in. It's all the way through. Push down. Pull it out. Go to the next one. It's exactly where it needs to be. Push down. We have the new holes in our cover. Take the second staple, and this one is a little bit and you can tell the difference between a Silver Age staple and a Golden Age staple fairly easily. They're actually different colors. Yeah, this staple definitely needs a little bit of straightening out. I think that's good enough. Pull it out. The long end was at the top. And the reason I know the long end was at the top was because I have on this piece of tape that the staple was on, the long end was on this side, and I have an arrow pointing up. And this is the top staple because it was below where I have a T. So I always know which staple is which. Got the top one in. I just need to get the bottom one. Bottom one doesn't want to go in. Push down. Don't think I have it in the hole. Okay, leave that in there, so I know that's right. And now I can see the hole easily. And we can push the staple into it. Hopefully. This one's giving me trouble. There we go. I got it. I always just push down one first. Get the tool. And actually, it's got little holes in here that you can put on the staple to hold it in place while you push down the other side. I just never do that. I don't know why. All right. That's done. Comic is back together. I'm going to go ahead and do a light cleaning, a damp clean on it. I'll use Clean and water for that. And then we will press it once I finish pressing some other things. Once it's pressed, I'll show it to you probably in a couple of days when it's pressed, and I'll show you the finished product. So stay tuned, because it's all going to be in this video. Well, it's about 3 or 4 days later. I had some other things that I had to press before I could finish this, but it's done. It's all pressed, it's put back together. Let me go ahead and take it out of the bag and show you, because it's pretty impressive. Now, some of you, if you watched my Wednesday show, got a sneak preview of this, but as you can see, you're not going to find, let me open this blind a little bit and get a little more light in here so you can see better. You're not going to find any trace of the glue that holds the Jingujo paper together. And I'll do the back also. It still has a very slight spine roll, and you know what? I'm just not going to worry about that. You just don't see it. It came together really nice. Very happy with it. It pressed out nicely. Like I said, little tiny bit of a spine roll still, and I'm just not going to worry about that. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. This one is for my collection, by the way. Now, I didn't show a few things. I didn't show using Clean on it. I didn't show that whole process or the way I do it in a future video, but I think I've shown it to you in the past also. So, very happy with the way it turned out. Like I said, it's going in my collection. I have a lot more Lois Lanes I need to work on that are not going to go in my collection, but they're just in really bad shape, and I know I'm not going to get a very high price because they're still a low value comic, or a low grade comic. But that's not what I'm going to work on. Matter of fact, I'm going to go get what I'm going to work on next and show it to you. Give you a little preview. It won't be I don't think it's going to be a Tools of the Trade video, but it might be. You never know. I'll be right back and I'll show it to you. And I'm back. And this is a little bit older comic. Not that Lois Lane 57 isn't old to most of you, but to me it's not that old, because I remember reading it when I was, about this tall compared to how tall I am now. But this one is actually older than me, so that makes it, something. And it's from 1953, I believe. Yes, it is 1953. It's the Cisco Kid number 15. And as you can see, it's got a lot of dirt and nastiness to it. It's got these big holes in it. So yeah, I'm going to have to do some leaf casting or spot casting. The cover is barely attached, so we're going to have to deal with that a little bit. And it feels like it's gotten wet at some point. So there's going to be some humidity involved. Except I'm probably going to end up having to soak each page. The pages are surprisingly in nice shape. They're not that bad. But they do have holes in them. So I need to fix those. And that's what I'm going to work on next. I may not show all of it, but I will show some of it, and we'll see how that turns out. So stay tuned, because this is going to be a good one. At least I hope it will be. That's going to be it. Finally finished it. Glad it's done. It took way too long for me to do, but that was partially because of the amount of rain we had and me getting, doing flood prevention, making sure everything was off the floor I could possibly get off the floor, because you never know. And but it's done now, and what else can I say? Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and if you want to help me support the channel, you can always go down into the description below and buy me a coffee. Very much appreciated. It does help me out, and will help me, offset some of the time I spend doing this. So, see you next time. Bye.